Okay, happy Monday, everyone. Just by the way, Andre, just before we get started, the edgeful YouTube is not working. Looks like it was deleted, so it's not going live on the edgeful YouTube side. If you look at the top right there. But yeah, happy Monday, everyone. As we get into it, we're just having a few technical issues this morning, but yeah, we're going to have a look at what's happening in stocks right now, so we can see. Just in terms of ES, we were trading higher overnight until a couple of hours ago. We started to trade lower. So down over there, NVDA down 1% today so far, as well as Tesla and Apple. Google is actually up 3%. And then a few of the other stocks across the board making a bit of a move too. How are you doing today, Andre?
Good, bro. We got some technical issues today.
Yeah.
Including this YouTube, which is annoying.
Let's go like this. Remove. Delete on YouTube and then re-add. Let's go like that. Let's go like this. Okay. Let's see if that works. Just saving. There you go. Okay. It's going live now. Perfect. We're live now. We should be live on the edge for YouTube right now. I think I sorted that out.
All right, perfect.
Luckily, we come in here pre-market. We're not doing it as the market's opening, bro. But yeah, what are your thoughts on the market right now? So we had the longs on Friday. I took that NASDAQ trade long on Friday with you guys here on stream. What are your thoughts right now where we're sitting at the moment?
Well, the Buffett is buying Google. Did you see that?
Is that why Google's up?
That is why Google's up. Buffett made an announcement that he bought a lot of Google. So
okay, I see.
That's the news there.
Yeah.
Which is honestly, I mean, at these prices, that's kind of insane. But like you waited a little bit long to do it, but
sure.
Whatever.
Yeah, it must be. Let's have a look here. Goldman Sachs. Is that you? Is that you, André?
Yeah, that's me. Yeah, not Morgan Stanley.
Yeah. Interesting. I haven't. Let's have a look here. Latest news. Where did you get that news from? Because I'm looking on CNBC. I didn't see it this morning.
Honestly, I saw it all over Twitter this weekend.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, all of it. Yeah.
So if you just type in CNBC, was from 2 days ago. So if you just type in Buffett Google, it'll come up.
Oh yeah, Alphabet rallies after Berkshire reveals stake. Wow, Buffett's firm bought it. Got it. Yeah. Okay. So it's interesting. That is interesting that he's buying up at these levels, and then just because he buys it, it goes up 3%, bro. Just become a big investor. Yeah. Just become a big investor, and whenever you buy stock, it wants to go down or go up. Yeah, that's
you know
morning,
what?
Anthony. Good to have you on. Yep.
One thing that I was, I actually will pull up just one sec. So let me just find it before I waste time doing this. So I'm just gonna pull up my screen quick. Can you see this? Can everyone see this? Let me know if you guys can see this.
Yep.
But
yep.
This was the first, I think the first time, this was in July, or no, actually. What was it? Yeah. I started talking about Google in July on Twitter. And if we go to the daily chart, you can see July is right over here. So
sure.
I was looking at it because it was the only of the Mag 7, the only one of the Mag 7 that was not into all-time highs. And I'll actually just zoom in here. It was the only one that wasn't into all-time highs. And I was like, you know what? There is a zero. I mean, this is what I wrote, July 3rd. People really think Google's going to drop the ball on AI. Honestly, that's absurd. No company in the world other than Meta has more information on their users than Google/Alphabet. It's really tough to bet against them in the long term, specifically relating to AI, because the whole narrative at the time was that Google is not going to win the AI race comparing to other AI firms.
Sure.
And this is something that I think, looking at like, yes, no, like Gemini, people use it because it makes cool images. People use Claude to code. People use Claude for writing. People use ChatGPT for everything else. People use Perplexity for search. Gemini doesn't really have like a really useful use case besides images. But you have to assume, if you're going to bet against Google, that means that you're going to assume that they're not going to win with like all the resources they have. So like they have YouTube. Like don't forget about YouTube. They have YouTube. They have Gmail. They have the entire Google workspace. They have Google Ads. They have Google Search. They have the Google phones. Like they have Google Cloud. Like there's just no way that they dropped the ball on this. And like when it was trading down here, it was such an obvious, and I'm only saying it was obvious because I was actually buying it here because, and I also have the tweet about it, but it was so obvious that it was like undervalued, like not having made a new all-time high, that to me it was like a no-brainer. Now, I don't know when or at what price Buffett bought Google. Hopefully not at 290, but yeah, it's, in my opinion, it was like a no-brainer.
Sure. Yeah, we can also we can speak about a few things right now. So I'm just getting up over here. So I wanted to speak about this edgeful stat over here at the moment. So something interesting here about the green.
I just pulled up your screen.
Yeah, the green. Where is it there? Green and red days by weekday. So if we just look at ES, and we can look at a bunch of stocks as well, but Mondays in the last 6 months on ES, just in the New York session has been 80% green. We can look at the daily chart as well, but from a daily time frame, so that's the extended market hours. I mean, still 80% green from the extended market hours in the last 6 months on ES. You can look at even like last 2 years. I think it would be above the 60s as well. So stocks tend to trade higher on Mondays. There we go, 68%. Can even look at NVDA in the last 2 years. There you go, 59%. Even Tesla. Let's have a look at Tesla as well. Tesla a little bit, 56. So Mondays tend to be a slow grind day for a lot of the indexes. But let's I just got some levels here on ES as we're trading overnight. I like some shorts below the 750 level where we're trading at right now. And then if we do move higher, the longs above the 780 level. So that's what I've got on ES at the moment. That's my thought process. Anyone who got in the chat got any ideas or direction that they would like to trade on today? We can obviously see Tesla's trading lower as well, 1.6% overnight too. So stock's a bit of a weird place right here with Google being up 3% and then the rest of the Mag 7 basically being down except Amazon. So, we want to see Fridays is a relief bounce by the dip, or is it, just was another move higher before that move that happened the end of whole of last week, basically.
Yeah, it's I don't know, honestly. I keep going back and forth between like the market is overextended. Oh, Netflix split?
Yeah.
As of today.
Let's have a look, yeah. Netflix.
10-1. Netflix split.
Oh, they split. Okay.
So.
Oh, yeah, they're trading back at 111. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, split. Interesting.
So I just, that's interesting. I think that's probably a decent thing for a company with a share price that high, but.
Yeah.
So let me just go back out for a second. So as I just like kind of cycle through my watch list, wow, Figma getting absolutely demolished here.
Yeah.
Not that it's an important stock. I just use it a lot. So I'm curious about, and also they have like a ridiculous amount of money. I think overall the IPO sell-off is going to happen, but long term, I am for sure bullish on Figma. Again, I don't know anything about their actual financials, but the product is amazing. God, and you know, PayPal is just the thing, just never, it's got to be like one of the most hated stocks. Like PayPal is, it's crazy because their earnings just continues to rise. Like quarter over quarter, like the company itself is growing and the stock is just terrible. I mean, I don't really know what it is, honestly, but yeah, just like not great. But as we go through, what I like to do, as always, I will do it every single morning, is I'll go to like a little bit of a higher time frame, look at where price is on these names, where is price opening, and just, I have my ultimate reversal setup indicator on right now, so it'll plot previous day's high and low and previous close. So now we get to see where is price opening typically within yesterday's range, about like, is there a gap up, is there a gap down, whatever else. So not really much here to comment on, to be honest.
Yeah, it's a bit of a mixed bag with the stocks overnight. I don't really have much either.
Yeah. What I am looking at though is not the ultimate reversal setup, but the gap at the moment is pretty small on NQ. So gap fill being this blue area right here, this blue line, and I'll just turn this on. Blue line right over here. And then midnight open is going to be at this 25,275, and then previous day's high is going to be 25,292. Oh, we just released a new report.
Nice. We don't do those much often these days.
You know what? We actually do, and we never talk about it.
Really?
Like we have like, I think 140 reports now. So we've released like 40 reports over the last, I don't know how long, like few months. And we just like don't talk about it. So we need to figure out what to do with that, because we gotta do that. So inside bars by open. So what is this looking at? Inside bars by open, looking at NQ. What does this look at? So over here, we're looking at previous day's range, right? Here is the halfway point of the previous day's range. I'm going to mark this out, and I'm going to hide this indicator. So today, if today opens above this yellow line, right? This yellow line is the halfway point of the entire Friday's range. And what this report does is it filters only for days that open inside of yesterday's range, but above of yesterday's midpoint. So in this case, the one on the left is going to be in this section here. And then the one on the right below the midpoint is going to be only days that open within this area here. So pretty much, you can see right here, days that opened above the midpoint, 65, almost 66% of the time, they will touch yesterday's high, right? So now what we're doing is we're filtering based on where price opens. Now, here we can see we have that ultimate reversal setup. So that red line over here is going to be a really nice target for us to plot out, meaning we want to expect price to do something like this, right? Now, ideally, we got some structure here. It doesn't just rip, right? Personally, I hate when that happens, when it just rips to the targets. We got some structure. We got a little orb formed right over here. That would be great. I would love to see a move down with some consolidation around this 25,000 level on NQ. So I would love to see a little consolidation here around this level, and then we can kind of base out and then continue higher. That would be awesome.
Yeah, that would be I think, yeah, we saw our trading above where we exploded from on Friday as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Any thoughts, any questions in the chat right now? The edgeful issue that was happening this morning should be all fixed, correct?
Yeah. Everyone should be all good there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I
So,
mean,
yeah.
I didn't have much thoughts. We'll see how the open, how we, got to see how we open here, obviously, right?
Yeah, you can't really determine much until we open. But is there any news this week?
Let's have a look. Yeah, news at the moment.
So
We do have some CAD news, but other than that, nothing until really until FOMC meeting minutes. But that's not really news until Thursday, really, where we have NFP. Actually, that's an interesting one. NFP is on Thursday because of the government shutdowns and everything.
Yeah, so everything is delayed. Like, when are they going to go back and do these?
Yeah, I have no idea because they still have to do CPR, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is going to be an interesting one. But yeah, I've just got nothing on today or tomorrow. Any chance we can add halfway point to the ultimate reversal indicator?
Yeah. Well, the point, the issue is that the ultimate reversal is, I guess the name kind of, it's the setup that like I made up, like I came up with, but it's really meant for when price opens outside of yesterday's range, not when it opens inside of yesterday's range. So we could add it. Personally, I would like to have, I want to choose whether I could turn off yesterday's high and low separately because it's annoying sometimes.
Sure.
Because it like screws up the scale of the chart. But yeah, maybe we can just throw it in here and it'll be default off and then we can have that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it doesn't so I see the other comment here on YouTube, but it's not that it doesn't make sense, it just doesn't really suit the strategy, like the concept. But yeah, we can still add it in and then let me just remove that. We can still add it in and then you just like have it default off. But also one of the things that we did, which I really like, is this gap fill 2.0. I didn't want to remove, so we have to wait for today to actually open to see this, but I'll pull it up once we open. But it's a pretty cool indicator, actually. Again, like our indicators are like always backed by data, but you can see the point of this is to tell you where the half gap is, where like 25% or there's a bug. Okay, never mind. I mean, it's not a bug, but it is a bug on the labels because this should technically be inverted. So I need to fix that.
That's Andre's favorite.
Wonderful. Okay, so I mean, it still plots the right levels, but just these labels are off. Pretty much the point of this is it will plot the previous close, right? So you guys can see. This is the previous close. So this should actually be 100. This should be 0. This should be 25, 50, 75. But for a second, let's just hide these and this, right? So this is the half gap. This one is actually correct. Pretty much this is only, the reason that there's a bug is not, it's just the labels because it doesn't switch for gaps up and down. It should actually reverse the order of the numbers depending on whether it's a gap up or down. But here we have the full gap fill and this is the halfway point. So if you want to take profits along the way, right? If you go to your edgeful report and you go to gap fill, you go to customize, you can actually change the percentage of the fill that you want. So if we go to 50%, right, and we click save, our target is not this yellow line, but it's actually this green line here. And this green line will automatically get plotted for you every day, which is obviously very important. So you don't have to guess where it is. You don't have to draw it out. Everything will be there for you. You can still use these. You can still use the indicator because it will just, what it's doing is it's cutting the gap into quarters, which is really the important piece, to tell you where the levels are, but I just need to fix this. So in this case, the open is always 0 and the gap fill is always 100.
Sure.
Yeah. We got market open in 6 minutes here.
Yeah, 6 minutes to market open. Still, yeah, stocks are coming lower across the board here, so not really interested in much at the moment, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Yesterday we're trading low. Oh, yesterday, Friday we're trading low into the open and then completely reverse. So let's see. Anyone been trading this morning? The DAX did come down this morning as well. That's something that I like to use. So if you'll have a look over here, let me just bring my screen up like this. So the DAX came down this morning. I had actually some shorts on my accounts. But if you look, you can actually get the edgeful orb indicators. If you go to the edgeful website, okay, and you hit on the top right here, trading the indicators, that's where you can get them. And that plotted my opening range. That was quite a nice orb. Look at this, bro. My algo took the win this morning. So 5-minute break of the opening range. Yeah, took my win on the algo. I actually got some more out of it with my discretionary trading. So, yeah. But that was a nice opening range play this morning, for sure.
We got a comment on X here. It says Grok uses your data with a laughing face. Can you elaborate on that a little bit? I would love to hear what this means. What do you mean by that? Like, tell me, like, what'd you see? What happened?
I mean, just looking from a stock perspective on the hourly time frame, like Robinhood and that don't look pretty bullish, I must say. Can you believe that the ridiculous red card? Yeah, is speaking about the rugby on the weekend. Yeah, that was a bit of a shocker.
Oh, I was at a restaurant and they actually had rugby on, and I was gonna send you a picture of it, but I didn't know if it was like the big league. Like, I don't know
do you know who was playing?
Dude, I have no idea.
No, but they around about like this time, there's always big rugby on at the end of the year. It's like the autumn internationals, basically. So we were playing Italy this weekend, and then England were playing New Zealand. So there were some big matches on.
Yeah, next time I see it, I'll take a picture.
Oh, there you go. So Rosella says I was doing some market research, and it quoted from edgeful.
Rosilla, I would love to, if you can screenshot that and tag me on Twitter, I would love to see that. If you can, yeah. I mean, screenshot it, or I don't know if you can like share the chat or whatever you want to do, but I would love to see the screenshot of what it is. And you can tag me in there, and here, I'll just pull it up 1 sec. Here, I'll pull up my screen 1 sec. You can just tag me. If you just go to edgeful, tag edgeful, it doesn't really matter. But
yeah.
Yeah, I would love to see that. It's awesome. It's good. It's really, really cool, actually. So we got market open in 3 minutes here. We're going towards that 25,000 level. I am interested, not specifically interested in longs until we kind of see the price action play out, but I would not be surprised. James mentioned the bullish Mondays. Also, if we look at the, let me just switch over here. I'll pull up my screen in a second. But
yeah, there you go.
So if we look at gap fill by weekday, right? Whoa. Okay. So granted, in the last 6 months, there's been 6 gap downs on Monday. So Monday opening below Friday's close has only happened 6 times, but every time it has happened, that gap is filled, right? So what does that mean for our target? The blue line right here. James, look at this. This is actually insane. Yeah. The blue line, I mean, right now, what's crazy is that yesterday's range was so big that like the blue line is 100 points away. And then further than that, like if we open here, roughly here, you're looking at a 300-point move. So something to keep in mind is you gotta be kind of like set the expectations here. We're talking about a 110-point move to the gap. You're looking at, assuming that we open here at 25K, 110-point move to the gap. Midnight open 275, and then previous day's high 300, which is quite far.
Sure.
But gap down on Monday, super bullish. James mentioned that report, green and red days by weekday. Again, super bullish on Mondays. We'll see what happens. We're going to open here in just about 45 seconds. And yeah.
Yeah, we'll see if we can pick some spots. We had some nice longs on the NASDAQ on Friday on stream, so we'll see if we can get anything heading to the open. It does look like the stream is going live to the edgeful. Let's just check that with Bean that for Friday as well, though, Andre.
Yeah. It's working, right?
Yeah, it's working. I saw it was live. Yeah. But obviously it wasn't scheduled, so some guys might only be joining a bit later on as the stream continues.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so I'm going to drop down to a smaller time frame here. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger just so we can see. I'm on a 5-minute now. We're going to open. There it is. Market opened. So we did, let's just make sure where we opened relative to yesterday's range here. We did still open above. So that bullish bias on the inside bars by open is still in play right now. We want to make sure. So like this is where kind of this previous day's low is annoying because now it's screwing up my scale. Like my scale from yesterday is like 600 points. Like I would like for it to be more like this, but we might not get this gap. I mean, we might not get this gap. But clearly overnight since roughly the London Open, we've been selling off.
Yeah.
But
Tesla picking up a bit of momentum at the open, yeah, but NVDA lower. So that should send ES down. Yeah, NVDA coming lower.
Yeah, NVDA down 2.7%.
Yeah.
So where's my grid? My famous grid.
Your famous grid. Yeah. I just click through them like one by one. I got full.
Yeah, me too. Usually I do.
Yeah.
I
wouldn't be surprised to see us bottom out here and maybe start to rise, I must say. Like,
what would be kind of nice, honestly, is a nice break and retest at 25K. So we just dropped 50 points below. We break above, retest it, base out a little bit for continuation higher. That would be nice.
Yep.
But yeah, we just retraced that entire move here. And there's a crazy wick to the downside. Big green candle there. Wow.
Yeah, Tesla picking up a little bit of steam here.
Wow. So Google up, Tesla up, Broadcom up, NQ, ES both up.
Yeah. There you go. ES back up 10 points.
Yeah, that gap fills for sure in play right now. So again, what I said, wow. What I had mentioned on Friday was setting this expectation of the orb range and how the orb range is going to impact the volatility for the day. So if we look here, orb in the first 3 minutes again, this is the exact same thing that happened on Friday, 0.5%. Like I went to this is the same thing I did on Friday. You go to the orb report, you can go to the buy size, and you can see all of the orb sizes here when they're bigger, it's pretty rare, right? So having them be bigger is very rare. So what I can do here actually is greater than 0.5%, right? So if we look, this only happened. That has happened 20 times in the last 6 months. So
interesting.
Yeah, the last 6 months, 20 times. That's what it's 20 times is one trading month. It's wow. This is. I honestly I really hope that Friday doesn't repeat today. That it just doesn't just rip. To I would love if that did not happen today.
Yeah, what's ES back up to 747?
Yeah. So this gap down on Monday. On NQ is one tick away from filling. So that the stats here, gap fill by weekday, right here is going to hold today. Very likely to hold, at least. It would be pretty insane if it didn't.
Yeah, look at YM. YM reversed 100 points off those lows.
How often do you look at YM?
Every day.
Wow.
I look at it every day.
I don't
trade it as much. I don't trade it as much, but I do watch it almost every day.
Yeah. There's that gap fill. So now, as you look at this, ES is the one that seems to be lagging, at least relative to the gap fill. Would you go long ES looking for it to catch up, or would you rather go long NQ? And if you find shorts, would you go short ES?
I'm going to trade the most bullish one. So if ES is showing me that it's printing the best, got the best risk reward for me, I'll trade that. If it's YM, I might trade that. Most of the time, though, it's either ES or NQ. But NQ, yeah, it's tough because if you try and trade one to catch up, you can get smoked on that because that one could be lagging,
Yeah, exactly. So just so you guys know, I'm looking at orb size. We have 8 minutes left in the orb to be created. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days that have had an orb of this size in the last 6 months. So you guys have to be, now it's up again. So now it's
look at this. Yes,
6 days. Dude, it just makes me want to get long. Should I just buy and just whatever? Because this previous day's high and opening retracement is they're in play here, especially because price opened above the midpoint of yesterday's range.
Sure.
But how do you long 2 candles like this? 2 5-minute candles like this?
At the moment, I normally let the first 15 minutes play out. That's kind of my, unless I find something that's super clean, Yeah, but Tesla's almost up 1% now after being down 2% pre-market. Tesla had a massive 5-minute opening candle. Look at that.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised to see if this comes back down a little bit as well. Anyone had any trade so far?
No trades for me.
YM's now trading above overnight VWAP. ES as well. ES, I mean, that's a pretty big bar, bro, on ES too. See, the only thing, if I can just show you here, like the only thing I don't like about
pull
ES,
it up.
if we look at my screen here, like we're trading at, you guys know I love using VWAP. We're trading at overnight VWAP, which is that black solid line coming across my screen at the moment. So, you know, for me right now, we can actually turn that off. For me right now, I'm just, you know, I'm wary because we could easily do something like this. If you're looking, we could do something like this and then go higher, you know?
I would love that.
Yeah, that would be
I would
a better
actually
entry.
really like that.
That would be a better entry for me as well.
Yeah.
You can just see on, but that's a big 50-minute candle as well.
Yeah, like if we look again, 0.89. So looking. Okay, so we've had one orb in the last 6 months that's been this size. Let's go to the last year.
Yeah, let's go back to your screen there. There you go.
Okay, so in the last year, we've had almost all of the orbs of this size have been in April. Almost all of them.
Yeah, that's when I was trading quite aggressively.
Yeah. So, just something to keep in mind, guys. Like the opening range being this big, you have to consider that, right? Like you can't not consider a 1% move at the open. Now that could be because of the Google news. To be honest, I thought it was going to be a little bit more like sell the news type situation on Google, which I mean, it still could be. It's still right near the open, but right, like if we go to a 30-minute here.
Dude, there's a guy in the chat called Bruce James. I don't know if he's trolling me. Yeah, we can see also NVIDIA still trading lower as well, you know, down 1%, 1.18% at the moment. So.
Google just hit RTH all-time high.
Wow. There you go. Yeah, up 5% right now. AMD's up. What's Palantir? Palantir is trading lower.
Yeah. Okay, so now hopefully we get a decent little pullback here. That would be nice. And then we can look to take a trade long. But we'll have to see.
Yeah. Yeah, look again, like that's what I was saying about not buying at that level. Look how we're respecting that overnight VWAP at the moment on the SPUs on the ES. Look at that.
Yeah, yeah.
Right at that level. It's no coincidence. Yeah, just be patient, see if we can get our entry. Tesla up quite heavily off those lows. Tesla's first 5-minute bar was 1.5%.
Dude, can you imagine if Elon just was like watching his net worth?
Yeah, on a real-time screen. Yeah.
Can you imagine?
It's a good place to be buying Tesla, I think, even on the daily time frame, personally. Look at that. Had a bit of a pullback. Could look to maybe if you wanted to buy with, you know, $1,000, put in 300 here at this level.
Yeah. That's that 2022 high, 2024 kind of body high. Yeah, I agree.
There you go. We've now, yeah, still trading at that overnight VWAP. Apple is down Still interesting. Most of the times when stocks are great overnight, Apple's still leading the charge.
If this ES candle, this 5-minute candle on ES flips red to green, I'll be pretty shocked.
Yeah, Robinhood trading lower. AMD.
So here,
yeah, no,
so 13 times. 13 times in the entire last year has the orb been 0.97 or higher on NQ.
Interesting.
So something to consider. I mean, like, there's nothing to do with that, right? Like, there's nothing that, like, oh, this is what we need to be doing with it. But
yeah,
it's just something to consider to set an expectation on range and volatility and understanding that this is not a normal environment right now, obviously.
Sure.
Okay, I'll be right back. I'm gonna get some more coffee.
Yeah, so we can get my screen up. I'm just watching AMD at the moment. Tesla trading up to 409 at the moment, so that's pretty big. Nice 5-minute breakout there. Opening range high is going to be taken at the moment on it too. NVIDIA lagging a bit. Looks like it does want to move higher. So it would definitely bring the indexes long too. But YM straight back down. Yeah, patience. Yeah, look at that. YM straight back down. Yeah, so just patience, guys. Wait for your pitch. Meta also trading lower. It's going to be interesting to see. Yeah, wow, Tesla back up above 410. Crazy. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, Tesla back above 410 now. Opened at 400. It's up 3% since the open. So I had a level here on ES. I don't like if I took a long here, I don't like my risk to reward ratio to the highs there. We only have back up to that level that I had 10 points. So I might have to go something like a YM today. It's at a better level to be buying. If the buyers stay in control, obviously. What's Robinhood doing? Yeah.
Dude, I don't know what to do with this.
Let's get your screen up. Yeah, it's a bit of a tough one right now.
I mean, if I had to choose to long either NQ or ES, it would for sure be NQ right now. But I don't know, man. How do you get long on a move that's 1%? By the way, your orb algo might go off today.
Yeah, it might do. It'll go off at some time. We're just not too sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, NVIDIA trying to hold up here as well. So the opening range is set in, guys. So that's the first 15 minutes of the market open hour. Yeah, AMD surging as well. Still stuck in a lot of when stuff is like happening, I'd rather just pick my spots and wait till I'll get something more clean. Maybe I could have been in that TSLA long off the open. That was pretty neat. André, we've got a nice comment here. André, just want to say thank you, edgeful. Your stats have been a game changer for my trading confidence. There you go.
Thank you for the comment. I appreciate that. It always means a lot. James is a big part of the team too, trying to show you guys how to use it. So thank you, James. But yeah, we're trying to give people the right tools to have trading success, and there's a lot in this space that's actually not only not useful but hurtful to a lot of people. And we're just trying to give you guys something that's objective, right? You don't need to like me. You don't need to take my word for anything when you use edgeful. Everything is a matter of fact. Everything is data backed. You don't have to actually do anything, and that's the important piece, right? We don't want you to have to rely on what I say or anything else. That's the key. I appreciate that.
Yeah, there you go. There goes my alert.
That seems a little bit late from TradingView, no?
No, I'm taking a 5-minute break, 5-minute closure. So that's right.
Yeah, but that was 40 seconds ago.
Yeah, that is a bit late from TradingView. Yeah, have to monitor that.
Yeah, that's really late.
Yeah, 40 seconds.
That's that sound was TradingView's alert.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta. Yeah, that's a TradingView thing. You gotta watch that.
Yeah. But obviously took it to my accounts at the correct time. But I will know, because would the alert go off at the same time when it takes my trade?
It can't take the trade unless the alert goes off.
Yeah, so that is late.
Yeah.
I must know.
Oh, give me 1 second.
Yeah, all good. Yeah, we can see a NASDAQ ripping here. $63 stop, took a long on NQ. Nice. Yeah. I got my screen up here. I'm looking at some potential YM longs as well. We are setting up quite nicely, but still trading inside the range. I mean, Tesla's just absolutely ripping. Tesla could have maybe taken something like this if we go down to a 5. Something like this right off the bat of the open. So I'll mark that up. I mean, you could have it just stop at that 5-minute candle low, in at that first 5-minute candle, and that's just ripping for you. You'd already be up almost, what, $1.5 or $10 on that. That's a big move. We're interesting to see if NVDA comes back as well. We are trading higher. Robinhood. Now I'm interested in the YM long, so. I'm just watching here. See, ES back, ES back at that level that I was watching. Anyone you still in those NQ longs? I think it's not a bad to be sitting in my hands right now.
Yeah, I think obviously, I think the bias today is long. That initial setup that I mentioned, gap fill, midnight, previous day's high, is definitely something that's in play. The problem is actually like getting into that trade. And right now with these gigantic moves up, like it's pretty tough for me to find an entry. Even if you use, which is like I usually like to do, is using yesterday's or Friday's structure.
Yeah, let's have a look. Yeah.
Using like Friday structure to enter, but I don't know, like you can't just really go, like where's your stop? If you enter, even if you enter a little bit lower here, even if you enter like 40 points lower, like where is your stop going to be? The thing is, you don't want to just buy and then leave a really wide stop just because you have like a bullish sentiment.
Yeah.
Or at least like I don't really like to do that.
Yeah, well, especially with the futures contracts, right?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Because you can't dictate the stop. Like you can't dictate the stop.
Yeah. Trade the 1 minute, Andre.
You can trade the 1 minute. So I don't really love to be honest, because there's a lot that goes on in here that can get you to overthink a little bit sometimes. At least for me, like I'm like, oh, there's a really big red candle here, for example, like whatever, I'm exaggerating obviously, but like if I say, oh, if I see a really big red candle, oh, well, that means that prices are going to reverse, and that might not be the case, right? So if we retest this orb high, I would be pretty happy, to be honest. If we retest like this area here, just like little consolidation here, that would be good. Same thing goes for this area here, right? Like that would be great if we can get a pullback, some base in this area for continuation, meaning something like this. I would be pretty happy, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm just sitting on my hands right now. So
yeah.
It's,
oh, there it is. Okay. Okay. Let's see what happens here. Let's see what happens at this 200 level.
Yeah.
So let's see something here.
We also have to wait for that first hour. For at least for me, most of my bias comes from that first, the edgeful screener.
Yeah.
You ever thought of putting like an edgeful stock screener on the website?
What do you mean?
Like like a stock screener, like filtering like average volume for stocks to trade, percentage change overnight, stuff like that.
To be honest, FinViz does it so well for free. Like we can include it as like a bonus, like as just like a value add. But honest, I think that like people just use FinViz, to be honest. Like it would be just a value add that would be like beneficial to some users, but I don't know how many people would use it. But I'm looking, this is standing out to me right now to see like what's going on here. Like, just so you guys know, like I'm paying attention to this pullback right now.
Yeah, because I personally just use TradingView stock screener. James, which stocks do you trade? I trade predominantly these ones on my screen over here. So I'll trade like the Mag 7, mostly NVDA, Tesla. I prefer trading those on the Mag 7. Amazon, and then it can move a bit slow. And then I'll trade AMD, Hood, Palantir, SMCI, kind of like those. Micron, Oracle sometimes. So yeah. I know the prop firms don't kind of allow you to trade. There's not really a stock prop firm. So I trade that all with my own. I day trade with my personal cash account. One of the prop firms that I do trade with allow me to trade the Mag 7, which is FTMO. Yeah. Yeah, NVIDIA coming back down.
Give me 1 second, I'll be right back.
Yeah, all good. I'll take the screen. Let's go like this. Yeah, so look at that. The Dow moving now off of that overnight view up. So it'll be interesting to see if we actually do hold up on the ES and NQ charts, because that doesn't look too promising for the Dow at the moment. Yeah, on CFDs, correct. So on day, obviously, if I purchase a stock long term, I'll actually physically buy the stock, but I do day trade the stocks as CFDs, correct, on personal cash. Yeah, Robinhood respecting that opening range higher. Just go like that. You can see it's the indicator from edgeful, opening range low, opening range high. We'll see what we do get here, but the Dow's not looking too, it's not holding back above those VWAPs. Yes, is actually respecting that level that I wanted to trade long above. So I'm not too, I don't like that. I must say I don't like that where it's at the moment. Yes. What are you liking there, Andre?
I don't know. I would like to see a little bit of like a whiplash down with like an immediate bounce, like one of those longer wick bottom candles for a move up. But I think I might just take a long here.
I don't have a read at the moment, so
if it starts to come into this like 80, 75 area, I would be a little bit interested in some longs here. This like 75 here.
Sure.
Yeah, I might do that.
Yeah, this is
I don't know.
This is where I trade my stocks on Trade Nation. So that's where I trade my stocks. Mike, if you want to go check them out. There you go. That's the broker I use. Yeah, Dow's still trading inside the opening range as well. Are you long on NQ at the moment or not?
No, not yet. I'm still waiting. I like this 75 area. I'm not in yet. I just kind of want to see how this plays out.
Sure.
Yeah, I think I'm going to take it at 70. I think I'm going to take it at 70 right over here. And stop will be below the structure. It's going to be roughly a 30-point stop, and then targeting new high of day, midnight, previous day's high. So I have my order at 70.25. So roughly right here. Okay, let's see. I'm not. If my concept here is that if price breaks this, like my trade idea becomes kind of invalid, like below this like 140 area. So we'll see. The thing is, NQ is kind of like becoming weaker. It's like failing the orb, which is weird. Like ES might actually be the one to take the trade, but it's a small stop anyway.
Sure.
And I'm literally one tick away. Okay, there's my order.
So what price did you get filled in at?
So exactly right here, 70. Yeah, 70 and 25. I'm using limit orders on this.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Makes sense.
And my stop is below at 39. And I'm literally about to get stopped out. There it is.
Yeah, markets are a bit shaky right now.
Yeah. So there it is. There's my wonderful trade. Literally just got stopped out in like less than a minute, I think.
Yeah, that was pretty quick. Jeez. Yeah, back down to 142.
Oh,
See if we can find anything else. Yeah.
ES is looking like like NQ looks like the one, if you're interested in shorts, NQ looks like the one to short, honestly.
Yeah, even the Dow struggling to get back above. Anyone else have any trades right now that they're watching? Would you take a second trade though, Andre, for yourself
Long?
if something said? Well, any long or short.
I don't know. I'm kind of like, I feel like long is not a bad idea right now, but I want some sort of like a little bit more confirmation here.
Sure.
I think a scalp short is not terrible. Like if we retest,
Yeah.
like if we do one of these, like a scalp short, maybe that's a little bit too much, but like a little move up back to orb high and like kind of fill this orb high. But I don't know. I'm a little bit more interested in longs like as a daily bias right now, as like a overall bias.
Overall bias. Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. We are trading now on NQ back underneath New York session view app as well.
Yeah.
I think kind of just goes to have to let the market shake out a little bit. Yeah, stocks. Tesla's pulling back. That could be Tesla's pulling back. Tesla rose quite heavily. NVIDIA
Yeah, I feel like
trading,
a short right now is not horrible.
Yeah, NVIDIA also now trading back underneath its VWAPs as well.
I think I'm going to take a short here.
On NQ, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, I just took the short here at 25. Right here. If this bounces, this is probably not going to work. My stop is above this high here, targeting the halfway point of the orb.
Yeah, I've got short NVIDIA. Looking for opening range low.
Targeting the 7 here of the midpoint of the orb.
So I got a short on NQ, short on NVIDIA. I'm short NVIDIA. Yeah. I can walk you through my trade once we start to play out a little bit.
Oh, I just made back my loss before.
Jeez,
Need that 7-7. There it is. Yeah, so just made back the loss green on the day right now. And so my first trade, I'll just pull it up right now. I'll just mark it out. So first trade was at 25, 170, 25. 25, 170, 25. Where am I? Okay. My first trade was this. Stop at 3.9. Okay, ballpark that. Got stopped out practically immediately. Then took the short at 125, 25, and then targeting the midpoint of the orb at 77. So risk 29 the first time, made 47 the second time in terms of points. So this was the two trades that I just took. Usually, to be honest, I don't like to flip long then short that quickly. I do not like to do that. But it was a scalp.
Yeah.
No, it was a scalp short, but I went from red to green today, so a small winner, but at least I'm green. You know, I actually learned this midpoint of the orb from Amp.
Oh, okay.
Obviously.
Oh, is that?
Yeah. So it's something that he's like, oh yeah, I like to use the midpoint of the orb as a level.
Sure.
But yeah, it's also the only little consolidation that we had here. I always will front run the targets. So for example, if I'm targeting whatever, let's just say 25,000 on NQ as a target, let's say I'm long, targeting 25,000, I'll always take it off at like 24,999, always. So I don't know why I do that. I just feel like it's not worth the extra point that, like, if it reverses, I don't really care. Yeah.
Yeah, so I also got my shorts on the video. Still like it as long as it stays underneath this level here. Opening range high, New York Station View app. Markets do seem like they're wanting to turn now, like lower.
Yeah. Go lower or go higher?
Lower. Yeah, they feel a bit heavy.
Yeah. You know what's so weird? When you say that, like, I know exactly what you're talking about, but like, if you said that to anyone else, they would be like, "What are you talking about?"
They feel heavy. Yeah, markets feel heavy. I actually got that one of my guys. He actually kind of used to speak about markets like that. He used to trade for in-house prop firms here in South Africa for over 15 years, and he always used to say markets feel heavy right now. So then it's, he likes the shorts. Yeah, Tesla coming right back down. Jeez. As you said, imagine Elon watches his flipping net worth.
Oh, no way, dude.
That would be funny.
Yeah, really great target here on. I'm just going to remove this little zone.
That was a nice exit, bro.
Yeah, really good target here. Yeah, I'd be in drawdown now if I had held on to that. But the ES short looks really nice right here. Back up to this little zone. A little bounce for continuation, just like ladder down.
Yeah.
Now I am on a 1 minute right now, so like keep that in mind. But if I go to a 5 minute, yeah, This is the problem with trading on a 1 minute. Like it looks so much better on the 1 minute, and then you are using like not that much actual information. Like you're like over it, you take a small amount of information, you give it so much more weight than it like potentially deserves. So
Sure.
I don't know.
Yeah, NQ could also still look for it. NQ definitely looking like the weaker one though.
Yeah. So going to my grid here. Let me just pull up the screener, actually. I'm curious what it's at right. I know the screener's not set yet, but I just want to see what's going on here.
Yeah, also if you look at that 50-minute candle now that just printed on NQ, you don't really want to be buying into that. It it doesn't look good. It doesn't look great.
The shorts don't look like terrible here, honestly.
No, they don't. They don't. But
I think it looks cleaner on ES right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
A little bit cleaner on ES, just because it's. Where's my short? Like risking roughly 7 points to make. So like, ideally, if a retest of the orb low with a stop above high of day would be great. Risking 10 points here. But what I would like to see, ideally, if it does retest the orb low, the orb high. If it does retest the orb high, I would love to see like a clean rejection off of it, or consolidation where like there's continuously like failing to break above. Like,
yeah,
that's what I would want to see. I would not want to see a break into the orb high into like the mid 70s and then a reversal. That would kind of invalidate. Like, if price can do something like this, well, I'll actually just make it a little bit cleaner.
Yeah.
If price does something like this, I would not be as likely to go short here. I would expect something like that. But if price does this,
it holds, yeah,
then I think it makes more sense. But
yeah, just watching stock movements at the moment, man, the video is still looking pretty good. I don't think that, I think the longs are quite tough at the moment. That's just my own opinion. But
I agree.
Yeah, it's like you say markets are heavy. You say that to someone that doesn't trade. They're like, what the hell are you talking about?
Dude, they would be like, what are you talking about?
But you know what I mean. The viewers,
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
Like when you just feel like after many years of trading, you're just watching markets and you're like, man, like Friday, you could feel that. That's why I like my NQ trade. It was just, it was ripping. You could feel that was a bounce and you want to be in it. But right now, that first initial pop at the open, I'm not too sure. It doesn't feels like kind of like a fake out.
Yeah. And not that there wasn't a trade here, honestly. Like, genuinely, not that there wasn't a trade, but
sure.
You know what, actually? What I should have looked at is the gap fill by spike. If we look at the gap fill by spike on NQ.
Yeah.
Okay, so what this is looking at here, gap down, Gaps down on NQ. Let me just make sure. Okay. I'm going to go to a clean chart for a second. And I'm going to go to NQ. I'm going to go to a 1 minute just so we can zoom in. Let me turn this off. Turn that on. Or actually, I'll do this. So I'm going to show you guys, and we've written a lot of stay sharps about this, but what's going on? Okay. So we've written
I'm going to
some
take
stay
a short
sharps.
I'm short on NQ and NVIDIA now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, this short looks really, really nice, especially on NQ and not ES. NQ is relatively weaker. So if you guys want some sort of target, I mean, James, what are you? I'll ask you first. What are you targeting?
Opening range low, 958 on NQ.
Nice. That'd be a really nice 114-point move.
Yep.
See, like, based on the last few streams, it looks, based on the type of target, I know that our streams have started like during this increased like volatility, but your targets are further than what I would set. And
Sure.
I, like, personally, like, it's very rare. Now, granted, this is kind of the scenario of the day, but it's very rare that I would hold for 100 and something point move. I personally, my sweet spot is between like 45 and 65 points on NQ.
Sure.
But it's so important for everyone to know their trading style.
Yeah.
Because if you don't know your trading style, like, yes, of course, I would love to hold for 100-point moves. But what I've learned is that once I'm up 90 points, I start to interfere with the trade. And
Sure.
that's where, for me, I just don't like to do it. And I've found that I've been way more consistent, not looking for bigger moves, which is just my personality. Like, James obviously has a different trading style than I do, which is totally fine. Emp, for example, holds like, I think that initially, like in his initial position size, he has the same trading style as me, but he holds runners because he uses, like, he scales in and out a lot. Everyone has a different style, and you guys need to understand like what yours is and go based on that, not when you try to copy someone.
Yeah. Because I also have a bigger stop than you on my trades, right?
Yeah. So usually I'll risk between 30 and 50 points. I really don't like to go above 50 points, honestly. 50 points is like, I think 50 points is actually like a very good stop size, because NQ, you have these 1 minute candles that are, like, in this case, this candle right here, this 1003 candle was 53 points. Like, how can you set a stop that's 10 points on NQ? Now, not trading the CFDs, but trading the actual futures. How can you have a stop that's 10 points if a 1 minute candle can go 30 or 40 points? It's very, very hard. Like, unless you're trying to be like a real sniper, which is very difficult, it's hard to do that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And my NVIDIA was just playing around a bit, but NQ, I still like NQ.
Yeah.
Still got the first hour in the next 8 minutes, so that will give some good direction.
Yeah, that's going to be good. So where is your stop right now on NQ, like the area of your stop?
So my area on the stop is back at opening range high, back at 214. See it? I've got quite a big stop.
Dude,
yeah.
CFDs are great.
Yeah. And I can still have my exact that I like. So
wow. Like, I could not do that.
No, on the futures, no, you would get smoked. I mean, if you have a 100-point stop, even 1 minute, you're getting crushed.
Yeah. It would be over $2,000 per contract.
Yeah. There goes your prop firm challenge if you're trading props.
Yeah, on one trade.
Yeah. Yeah, so I was in at about 0.70 on NQ. So you see, like, if I just go back to my screen like this, like, just show you, I can actually show you like that. Like, this is what my trade looks like on NQ. So I'm trying to play it back down to opening range low, and I got my stop at the half. If it comes up there, then obviously I don't want it anymore, right?
Yeah.
My NVDA trade, messing around a little bit. Kind of looks similar to NQ at the minute, but we're still trading underneath VWAP, so I got my stop at half day. So if that wants to hold, then we should see lower. So we'll be showing some rejection here on the NAST on NVIDIA as well.
So we have a question here about Orb algo stops. I know you know what I'm going to say, which is why I know that you wrote that the way that you did, because you said, I know it depends, but is there something you wouldn't go above? There's actually a video here. So in the algo section right over here, there's a video that if you scroll down, use Excel to optimize max loss. This video is really short, actually. And what it's going to do is it's going to tell you the tipping point at where to set your stop. So every trade has, or every strategy has a point where if it goes X amount towards your stop loss, it becomes very likely to hit your stop loss.
Yeah.
Your stop loss is not always that point. What you want to do is you want to make your stop loss that point, right? So what that video does, what that Excel explainer does, is it tells you where that point is and how to set your stop at that point and not take unnecessary losses in excess of that point, right? So if you enter at 100, I'll show you guys right here what I'm talking about. I'm going to pull this up here, right? So if you know that if price goes to, call it down here, it is very unlikely to become a winner, right? So we'll do something like this. What you want to do is not set your stop down here, but move this to here, right? So now you get stopped out earlier and you don't take this unnecessary loss because you want to leave a wider stop. That video is going to tell you exactly how to do that. For some guidance, honestly, if you, depending on NQ, MNQ, like it totally depends, which is why I can't give you an actual answer. But start with a wider stop, like something that you know is like far too big, and then narrow it down. You can't start with, like, if you're using the micros, so MNQ, you can't start with like a 25 max loss on the algo. You'd have to go to 200, call it $200 per contract. So leave the contract size at 1, set your max loss at 200, and then go through that video. And then that's how you're going to do it. It will literally take you probably 10 minutes to do it if you follow exactly what I do in that video step by step, which is why I made that video, actually. And one other thing that's important about today is we have our brand new Orb algo with 2 profit targets. Nice. So you can see we have the other one coming soon. We just released this morning, which is probably honestly what caused some of that issue in the morning. We released a brand new Orb algo that has 2 profit targets right over here. So you guys can see that over here. Again, the recommended algo is going to still be the Orb, the single Orb. It's going to be a lot easier for you guys to change the settings on, understand how it works. But right over here, we have the Orb with 2 profit targets. What this allows you to do is capture the bigger move. Either, there's really 2 ways to use it, which is what I explained on the other live streams, but you can either take profits early and lock in a green day, or you can set your profit targets very far to capture that bigger move. And you'll likely, you can either leave runners or you can kind of like pack in the green days. If you're trading with a prop firm, you probably want to move your profit targets a little bit closer so you can bank those winners, like realize those gains a little bit earlier, so you can stack up that your equity curve a little bit faster.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Prop firms are different to trading personal cash. I agree.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. You kind of just have to stack the wins up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, James, I really liked those shorts when you were saying when you took them. I actually still think this trade is valid.
Yeah,
as long as price stays below this order.
As long as price stays, yeah. If we move higher than this, then I'll have to cut. But at the moment, yeah.
This zone right here that I have, I'll make it a little bit red. Just I don't usually like to use colors, but what is going on here? This red zone right here, if price gets above it, right? If price gets above this area, I think the shorts are invalid. I don't need, personally, I don't need a new high of day to tell me that the shorts are invalid. If price gets above this area, above that orb high, and we start to consolidate up there, I think we're getting that move higher. But not, and I'm not gonna do this, but not horrendous, to be honest. Right now, in terms of risk to reward right now, not horrible. I'm like I have like a small winning day right now, to be honest. So I don't really want to give it back, but I'm going off edgeful data. There you go, Byron. Previous day's high is broken. Yeah, exactly. That's how. So what you want to do, thing is, I don't know what you're trading specifically, but once that previous day's high breaks, I mean, you can't be bearish there, obviously, unless there's a catalyst. But targeting that previous day's high, very, very, very high probability. So I'm going to pull up edgeful again. Again, guys, just as a reminder, we did release a new orb algo. Everyone who has the algo plan, it is included in your plan. There's no upgrade required. That is going to apply to all the algos that we have. So if you guys are interested in some of the algos and you guys upgrade, you'll get all the algos that we have. You get the automation. And what you can do, which we don't really talk about, is that you can also connect other strategies that you have, other trading view strategies, and automate it through edgeful. So if you like the orb and then you have something else that you've built or that you like to use, you can automate that through edgeful using the edgeful automation, which is all obviously included in your plan. But going to the inside bars report, looking at this, days on NQ in the last 6 months, days that opened within yesterday's range, only stayed within yesterday's range 22% of the time in the last 6 months. Opened within yesterday's range, broke out of yesterday's range 77% of the time on NQ. So obviously, granted, yesterday is almost a 700-point range, so it is obviously going to be a lot harder for it to break out. But you want to expect one side to break today.
Yeah.
And
I must say, so Byron, just with that previous day's range report, that's one of my favorite ones that I do use. So obviously we did take out the highs, but like when we get something like this, so you can see my NQ actually still very much valid here. But let me just, sorry, André, to cut you off.
Yeah, do it.
So like when we take out the previous day's highs overnight, I think something that's more valid for me is when we take out the previous day's highs during the session, if that makes sense. So like during the session, we've actually still traded, like my NQ is still I actually really like my NQ position right now and my NVDA position. But look how we're trading underneath the VWAPs at the moment. And we're still back inside the opening range. So yes, we've taken out the previous day's highs, but coming into the session, we haven't. Look how we try and touch it over here, and then we come right back down. So that's I'm actually back in profit on my NQ trade.
Yeah, that trade that I didn't take it, but that trade that we just mentioned when price came back up to that.
See, now this is where I can learn from you. That's probably a better price to be shorting in at.
Yeah. I mean, we didn't know that it was going to get back up there, obviously, but
No one
this
knows what's
zone
going to
that
happen.
this zone that we had here was like.
How do you draw your
like,
zones, Andre? How do you draw your zones personally?
So it's funny because if we look at like the last few days, these zones have been like shockingly accurate. So like keep that in mind. It's not always like that, but right here, I'm looking at some sort of consolidation, and I'm looking to see how price reacts to it. So obviously, if you for anyone who's watching, if you scroll back or you go to earlier in the stream, I had plotted this out like far before price was like rejecting this zone up here. But even if I go back to yesterday or Friday, I had this zone here. Price broke it, retested it. If I go down to that 1 minute, right over here, I'm looking for. I don't remember exactly. You guys can go back to that Friday stream, but the right over here is. I'm pretty sure this is where I actually drew the zone, and price came back into that zone, tested it twice, and then ripped higher. Now, what I look for relating to the zones. Number one, I actually typically don't use levels specifically. Like I won't use specific lines because it makes it, at least for me, like the way that I read it, is it makes it very difficult for me to give myself buffer. So I will use lines for targets, but I won't use lines for areas because if, like, for example, I'll drop down a little bit just so we have some more wiggle room here. I mean, not the best example, but my zones are typically a little bit wider, which is what you can tell here.
Sure.
What I'll look for is right here. You can see a red candle, price coming down, right? And then you have a like giant bullish bar. This to me signifies like a little bit of like a demand zone or like an area of interest, right? So what I do is I'll draw it, this box from the pretty much like the smaller candle in the front to the wick that was made either from the first or second candle. I don't really care. And then now I would be pretty confident that if price doesn't just flush through the zone, there's going to be some sort of reaction in here. The same thing goes for up here. So if we go to that 1 minute, we have this little consolidation and then a stronger move up. So to me, there is an area of consolidation here that formed after. So price ran, consolidated, ran again. So there's something. Now I don't use order flow. I tried it. I don't like order flow personally, but there's something that's going on here. This is an area of interest, a zone that I should be aware of. So for me, the reason that I actually took the long here initially was that I see this zone, I see a break and a retest of the zone. So the way that I saw it in the morning was price ran, consolidated, broke out, retested an area. I was looking for a break again to the top side, long, targeting my ultimate reversal setup, midnight open, previous day's high, right? That obviously failed. Price just flushed right through. Within, I think it was like less than a minute, I got stopped out.
Sure.
Now, price continued to fall, retested my zone, and failed. So on this candle, I enter at 25, whatever it was. It was at 125. I enter short. Now I'm targeting the orb low. The target is out of this question here. But the reason that I plotted this zone initially was because I see this consolidation. I see a nice sweeping move to the top side. I see some consolidation. There's obviously something going on. Either that's, and I'm not going to pretend that I know who buyers are taking profits, sellers are stepping in, there's absorption. I don't really care, to be honest. I don't care who's there. I don't care if they're buying. I do care if they're buying or selling, obviously, but I do know that there was a very strong move that was clean. And then that move started to slow around here. So this is an area that I want to be focused on. Yeah. And then now this will happen, obviously. So price just goes right through it, like as if the zone wasn't even there. But now we retest, fail. Kind of retest again, fail. Retest again. And if we fail again, like this to me was a really clean short setup. Now I'm green on the day, so like I don't want to continue to play, like I don't want to continue to sit at the table, but this was a very, very clean short setup that if you guys scroll back to when this happened, I had mentioned on ES and NQ, this is a great short setup. What I don't want to see is price breaking this orb high and then basing and making a move higher.
Sure.
So it's not really like a science, unfortunately, because if it was, then I would build an indicator on it. So like we can include it in the edgeful plan.
Yeah.
But
it's more subjective than objective.
Yeah. And that's the way that I layer in my edgeful reports with my subjective trading.
Sure.
So again, do I think that price is going to come back into this area? Yes, absolutely. And I had this thing on my charts the whole time. You have a break, a pretty violent move down, a base, you can see right here, and a move higher. Same thing again, a violent move up, a base, a move higher again. Now this becomes my zone here. So I mean, if you really want to do this, we can do this. One of these. Usually I typically don't like to use colors on my charts. James, I think you're the same.
Yeah, like you can see my candle's actually all black, bro.
Yeah, my candles are usually all black too. I have it like this so for the viewers, honestly.
Yeah.
But you can see on ES, we're getting into this zone. NQ, still a little bit stronger here. But I don't know if that was a good explanation, honestly. Like, I don't think I've like ever actually explained the logic of the zone, but of like how I draw these. But yeah, these areas to me are very significant and like a big part of how I like to implement and execute on the actual edgeful reports every day.
We've just, 10 minutes ago, we did have the first hour screener. Yeah, so we can actually maybe bring that up as well. So my screener is telling me that, pretty neutral today. We had, pretty neutral. But let's go to all.
And
not surprising with the price action. Yeah, pretty neutral. Yeah, but but what I am, so NVIDIA actually had a bullish first hour, but we trading back lower. So it's going to be interesting to see what we get. QQQ, but it's probably because that first 45 minutes was all up, Yeah.
So again, we had what we had mentioned, what James and I were talking about was the orb actually today. There's only been like, I forget what it was, like 7 times that this has happened in like the last year, I think.
Yep.
And that calls for unique price action. It is a very obvious sign that today might be a little bit different. Sure. And it's something that in my opinion, I think everyone should be aware of is what is the condition of today. And that's one of the things that I personally look at. What is the orb size and how is that going to dictate what happens? Like how often does this happen?
Well, especially if you're trading futures contracts, you need to see what the orb size is to adjust your risk. Just an interesting sake, YM's actually dumping here at the moment. YM's down 200 points off the highs there, 150 points.
That's crazy.
So that could be good for our. Remember, I'm still short NVIDIA and Tesla. NVIDIA and NQ.
Yeah. So ES looking weaker here, in my opinion. Now it is. Again, the zones that I draw are not this like magic area, but this zone to me is an area where I would be, if I was short, specifically ES, not NQ, I would be looking to take a trim starting at this 38.40 level because we had a larger sell-off down and then we kind of based in this area for a move higher. Now, I still think that NQ has a little bit more room to come down, but is that going to drag down ES or is it going to drag up ES in this case?
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, this zone to me is a very key area to focus on. I
agree. And then when you got a bit of a mixed bias on the screener, maybe more aggressive on profit taking too.
For sure. So looking at this, 40% of them are neutral right now. So most of that's going to be the IB. IB by rejection, unfortunately, is probably not going to play out. I mean, it might, right? IB buy rejection, I'll explain it quickly, is measuring the direction that the IB formed. So you can see here, the low was obviously formed before the high was, which means that we, on NQ specifically, and by the way, I don't know if you guys, James, I don't know if you knew this, but if you're on the screener and you can click and it'll just take you to the report with the ticker already selected.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So what this shows is if the low of the IB forms first, almost 80% of the time, the first break is going to be to the high. So in this case, price pulls back, you got to move higher. You do have to wait for the first hour here. So that was the first hour mark was here. And now you can expect, in this case, if this is falling in line, you can expect price to break this IB high first. Now, I want to talk about these zones for a second, because these zones have a little bit of like a shelf life. Like there's only so many times a zone can be tapped before it's like still valid, right? So the more times these zones get hit, in my opinion, the less strength that they have. Do you feel that way, James?
Is that something that you've seen? Or I mean, it's kind of like if you, even on a like larger time frame, the more like it moves into resistance it wants to break through, kind of. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, pretty much. So
yeah, I could see that. I don't think I've really noticed it too much, but I could see that.
Like the way that I see it, whether it's support and resistance, this is obviously more like subjective, but when I see a break and a retest and a break and a retest, or like a retest 1, retest 2, retest 3. Now, if we come back up here, I am personally not expecting this to hold as strong on this fourth, or 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, the fourth retest.
Sure.
Because I feel, and this is again subjective, but I feel that the sellers have had their chance to move it down. And the more times that we retest this is like they miss their opportunity. Now, just to be really clear, I am not one of these guys that are like the market makers and whatever else. They're like trying to move it up and trying to like take you out or whatever else. Like I don't,
sure.
I don't really believe that. But I actually don't believe that, because I think so many traders, like they take bad trades and like, oh yeah, the market makers knew where my stop was. And like, they just like ran my stop and now it's going into my favor. Like, no, that was a bad trade. And like, you shouldn't have taken that trade. But
especially if you're trading a sim account on prop firms, they don't know where
your stops are not in like the live markets, but
it's not in any live markets. Yeah,
exactly. But yeah, this zone right here on ES, again, guys, you can rewind. I'm sure you can find how I plotted it, when I plotted it. You can see that price comes down from 1, you're like ping-ponging back and forth, touches this zone. When it was down here, I said, if you're short, I personally would be taking profits at the 740, 738 level. And then now we have a 15-point move higher. From there, I don't know.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. YM's just bounced a little bit, but we're still trading underneath VWAPs. My NQ still chopping around. So it's going to be interesting to see what we get in the next couple.
Yeah.
Yeah, NVIDIA has also bounced a little bit.
Just for anyone who is looking for another short on this test, personally, I am not seeing it as valid as the first
time, yeah.
Yeah, personally, I do not see it as valid here.
Yeah, anyone in any trades at the moment besides me?
I am not in a trade.
Yeah.
I left these two on. These were the two initial trades that I took.
Yeah.
Risk 30 points on the first one.
Yeah.
Risk another 30 points on the second one. Target on the first trade was 100 points. Target on the second trade was 45, 47. So green on the day, which is nice.
Yeah,
but
you take that.
Yeah. Small green, small size here, but
yeah, but green is green, right? Yeah, that's I think a lot of traders also. This is what I personally. I don't know what your thoughts are, Andre, but like, let's just say you have like a killer day on Friday. I killed it, bro. On my personal account, I did really well, made some great profits on prop firm accounts, did well as well. So, but then on like a day like today, where price action's a bit more choppy, you can't expect the same to be happening each and every single day. And I think that's where a lot of traders, I put myself in this bracket from time to time as well. But I think this is what I had to learn early in my trading career, is that like not every single day is going to be the exact same. So like if you killed it on a day because price action was great, that's fantastic. But it doesn't mean the next day you need to do the exact same. That's why I never understand these guys are like, oh, well, I need to come and make $200 a day. Yeah, well, sure, you could. But like, what happens if price action is great? You want to make $1,000, you know, whatever it is.
Dude, the people that is so bad. That is so, it builds the worst habits because, I mean, listen, we're all people. We're all humans. Like, nobody's going to forget about a giant loss that they took the day before or a giant win that they had the day before. The thing is that you try as best as you can, or at least for me, I'll speak for myself, try as best as I can to take the day as the day. For example, there was a bunch of trades that I missed last week that were amazing trades that I just didn't take, that I called out, but just didn't take them. And that to me is like personally arguably the most frustrating. Like I would have rather lost on taking the trades than sitting and watching my trade idea play out.
Sure.
But yeah, you just gotta keep that in mind.
What I'm saying is like every day's got a different, feel to it. You just because, you want to be attacking on when price action's great and it's moving in one direction, you want to be taking advantage of that, of your A+ setups, basically, the A+ training days. Whereas a day like today, I mean, look at ES. We've literally moved ES from the high to the low has literally moved 38 points. But if you take out the first 40 minutes of trading, it's moved.
Yeah, it's 20. Like nothing.
Yeah.
So these zones, again, don't have really a rule to them. There's like a few different things that I will mark out. Now, I do think that this zone is going to get blown through. Now that we tested this and reversed again, to be honest, I was not expecting this one to hold this time. I was expecting at least a move up into the 180s. I wasn't really expecting a break of this, but the IB buy rejection does today lean very bullish almost across the board. But so these zones don't really have a very black and white measure, right? So this one here is a reversal, right? So price comes down, I draw and it bounces. Now I draw my zone. Then we have another one, which is a run up, consolidation, run up higher. And now this one is one that I guess is like similar to a reversal, where price comes down, tests it, bounces over and over again. And if I were to just plot a line instead of this zone, right, it's very easy for me to say, oh, price broke it. Right? It broke it. Oh, it should be reversing or it should be doing whatever else. Whereas if I have my zone instead, it allows me to give it some more buffer, because like nobody's ever going to be able to snipe a level or a zone or whatever else like to the tick. So you want to give yourself a little bit more of a buffer.
Makes sense. Yeah,
I don't know, James, what do you think about this? Like, the zones, do you ever use them at all?
I do use zones. Definitely have levels that I'm watching. On on the assets that I trade. I like using levels. Just support as you've been showing now, basic support and resistance levels, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, it's like not that complicated.
Yeah, you don't need to overcomplicate it for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of the stocks, just even AMD, still trading inside its opening range, high and low. So, you know, it's not surprising we're getting a lot of chop. There's no like stock besides Tesla at the open, which probably helped the pop on the indexes. Besides that, there hasn't really been anything else.
Yeah. I don't like to play ping pong like this.
Yeah.
I really don't like this type of price action, to be honest. This results in a lot of blown accounts. If you were to look at this and you just take this is literally the price action right over here in this green line that I just drew. This is the price action that we're in right now. So if you're right on the day, if you're taking like 5, 6, 7 trades already, maybe it's better to like not continue trading and just call it a day, because it's unlikely that there's going to be an even cleaner move after this.
Yeah, you'd rather just wait it to get out of the level.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so nice that you can adjust your position size the way you can with the CFDs.
I know, dude. Now, because I got a big stop, I'm actually glad I went with a big stop today, because it's been able to keep me in the trade. If it just wants to come lower, then cool. If it moves high, then I'll just cut it, obviously. Yeah, that adjusting of the position sizes is great. It's why I actually enjoy trading the CFDs. Like if I want to risk a certain amount and I want a massive stop on it, I can do that. Whereas you can't. Yeah, you can't really with the futures.
Yeah. Yeah, opening candle green today across the board. IB totally neutral, pretty much. IB by rejection, very bullish. Previous day's range, pretty neutral. So
yeah, taking a stop loss long. Yeah, matrix. Yeah, unfortunate. But
silver. That's silver.
Taking a silver long. Oh, sorry, silver. Jeez, yeah. Okay. Silver. Jeez, I don't know. I don't think I've ever taken a silver trade in my life.
Neither have I.
8 years of trading. Yeah, I've traded gold a bit. I've traded basically everything you can think of. I still prefer the indexes and stocks, bro. They just move a lot more.
Yeah,
more cleaner. Yeah. Not your mate's penny stocks though. Jeez, I was looking at some of those penny stocks, dude. I'm like, how the hell do you trade that stuff, bro? I'm like,
you shorted. That's it.
Yeah.
You don't go long.
I was looking at Beyond Meat the other day. It went from $7. Was one guy that I follow on Twitter. You know, one penny stock guys made $7 million. It went from $7 on the Friday, the 22nd of October. Went from $7 to $1, and he made like $7 million.
Oh God. But dude, you need so much position.
Shorting a stock. I was looking at the price action of that. I was like, dude, how do you trade some garbage like this, bro? Like, look at this price action here. Look at this, bro. Look at that. How do you trade that, bro? Like, there's just no volume.
You know what the problem is when you trade stuff like that? The volume, like that guy that had the whatever it was, he must have had like 1 million shares or multiple million shares. You become your own, like you try to cover, and then the price just you like hold the price, and you're trying to get out short, and you're holding the price because there's never enough volume on those names.
That's wild. Yeah, I was looking at it. I was like, that's crazy to me.
Yeah. I mean, guys, so by the way, what I'm looking at with this blue area, I mean, I'm not taking a trade. I'm done for today. I took 2 trades. And what I'm looking at here is this area where price keeps bouncing from. Not perfect areas, right? These are not perfect zones, but I'm just looking to have right here, how big is this area? This is 25 points on NQ. I'm looking, now it's a lot cleaner on NQ than it is on ES. Like I said before, I'm expecting probably something like this to happen. which is James. This is in your favor.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
He's told the market makers it's going down now.
Yeah, let's tell them if they're watching, guys, please. Let's drive it lower.
Yeah,
But
I'd like to make some money today.
Yeah. So
yeah, the thing that I must say also, Andre, is that the CFDs you can't really scalp as well as the futures because the spreads in that are obviously probably like 100% higher. They're not bad, they're not terrible, but they're not like the fills in that you get is not the same as futures. Yeah. So
yeah.
But it doesn't. I mean,
You don't use limit orders?
No, I've never used a limit order. Can't say I've never. I've used it once or twice, but I prefer trading market execution.
Wow.
Maybe I should have a look at that. But like sometimes like it's irritating to me if like a price doesn't come exactly to my level and then I miss it. I'm like, oh man, like could have just taken it.
Yeah. So it depends for me. Like I entered limit the first trade and then I entered market the second trade.
Sure.
So I just set the order. I was like, if it gets here, I'll enter. If it doesn't, whatever, I don't care.
Yeah.
But I also had my stop set before I entered the trade. So I set the order, I set the entry and the stop. So I was like, whatever, if it just blows through, I don't care because my stop is set. And then for the reversal, this was like more of a quick move. That price came up and then like I just like spammed like sell market, not like sell the ask. And then that's like sometimes you have to be fast. Sometimes like if your key area is further away, it's fine. But yeah, that's just the way that I do it. I definitely use both. I go through back and forth. But yeah, it doesn't to me it doesn't
matter.
I don't really care.
I'm just having a look at YM as well. So YM is definitely showing a lot more bearish continuation than the other two indexes at the moment. Like, look at this. Looks really
1 sec.
Yeah,
hold on 1 second.
This looks really good for YM shorts at the moment. We've been making lower highs kind of all session here. We're still trapped inside the opening range high and low, so that maybe YM coming down could help my NQ come lower as well. My NQ at the moment, I think I'm still at break even at the moment. Yeah, but still looks not too bad. So far, I'm going to chart remember on NQ, but this looks pretty decent. This looks solid. My NVIDIA trade. Let's see what NVIDIA is doing. Yeah, NVIDIA also respecting the overnight and daily VWAPs at the moment. So I'm going to continue holding my short here on both NQ and NVIDIA. But yeah, anyone else in any trades with me? I'm still short NQ, which is looking like we're popping lower at the moment. As I did say, like that's why I do like enjoying watching all three of the indexes, just to see the relative strength of each one. But yeah, why I'm definitely popping lower here. Also shorting ES. Yeah, ES looks short. Look, so I can walk through my trades again on the index, but let's go over my NQ position. So what you can see on my NQ shorts is pretty simple. We pop high at the open and we get back underneath the daily VWAP. And we kind of create this lower higher, and I'm looking to target opening range low. So I love using the edgeful stats with price action and the opening range and VWAP. So VWAP's opening range and edgeful data. That's all I use.
Yeah, bro. Now you have your break below.
Yeah, there's a new break for low while being this trade, so that looks decent. My NVIDIA trade also starting to come lower as expected because NQ is coming lower. But I mean, this looks pretty good, bro, from a short perspective.
Yeah, new low of day, I would not, meaning in the New York session, I would not be surprised.
Yeah.
What would be nice is if it just just rips right through the way that it did up top before, like it just ripped right through. But ES is definitely weaker here for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if we just get like a violent new low of day. I'm curious to see how this initial zone reacts, but I would not be surprised with violent new low of day right now.
Yeah, it looks good, bro. I must say I do like it.
I wonder if there's a way that I can quantify. I can like create an indicator that like plots these zones automatically. Let me know. Would you guys be interested in an indicator that plots zones automatically? Like these zones that like I've been using, that I've been plotting. Like if there was a way that I can draw it out, if there was a way that I could quantify it, would you guys want that? Like, would you guys use it, or would you guys would rather use your own subjective confluence?
If we can close Chong here on the video as well, I think that will look good for my NQ, both my NQ and NVDA trades. We do have, geez, it's already, you know what time it is in South Africa at the moment? It's 6 p.m.
Oh my God.
I do have to get on a call in the next 5 though, Andre, but
I was going to say we should wrap up here, but
we see when you have fun and you talk nonsense and you guys interact, the stream goes by quickly.
Yeah. 2 hours. That's crazy.
Yeah. I had to sit down for a bit as well. My legs were getting so sore, dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, just so I think I'm gonna see if I can get some more profits out of this NQ and NVIDIA and see if we can get maybe a new low of day. That'll be nice. I hope that you guys have had a good trading session on your side. Yeah. We'll be on Friday again, 9 a.m. Eastern time.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, we can wrap it up. Yeah.
Good
trading. Good trading your side, Andre. I hope you guys have had a good day as well. Nice. I'll keep you guys updated in the Discord too with my trades. Have a good rest of the day. Cheers, guys.
All right, guys. Have a good one.